Well, we're going to run through the 3-year-olds. Every week we start with Arrowhead Hanover, and we will again this week. He raced out of his mind today. Little unfair when you factor in all the grassroots or stallion series, all the gold or sire stakes. He was probably the third or fourth fastest horse today. He would have won all but one sire stake event and finished second in a stallion series. They went 52-1. Trotted 153 flat, the fastest mile of his life, one of the better races he's been in, and it was all in the Stallion Series. So when I talk about how difficult the Stallion Series can be, please understand, across the board, as rookies and sophomores, the Stallion Series is no joke anywhere, especially Pennsylvania. Aunt Lily racing this week. She's hit and miss, right? We know what's ailing her. Allergies are really becoming a problem. She had bled a little bit 2 or 3 starts ago and she raced poorly. Thought she raced pretty decent the other day. I'd like to see a repeat performance. We have Aaron Merriman driving both her and Freedom Hill this week, so I'm optimistic about how we'll do. Blue Ventura should be ready to go in about a week. We gave him 2-3 weeks off, brought him back. I suspect he trained yesterday. I want to train him today, but the track was closed. I believe Jason said he trained him yesterday. We'll probably have him in the bike next week and have him ready to go the following week. Captain Incredible, I asked Yannick Gingras to drive him on Tuesday. I wasn't going to be able to make it back for Judy's Money. Now, Brett Miller could easily have driven Judy's Money. He's already won with her. Her lifetime mark, I believe. So that wouldn't have bothered me in the least. But I did have to go to Scioto Downs anyway. And just one second. Get in the mail. Oh, gotta leave that open. I had to go to Scioto Downs anyway. And when it comes to Captain Incredible, you know, when I first started driving him, he was a little tricky, but he's not anymore. I mean, Dave Pallone, and not that Dave's an amateur, obviously, he's leading wins driver everywhere, but he's not a hard horse to drive anymore. I liked what I saw last week. He's going to be a little short, a little flat. I told Yannick that. But I said, hey, I really like this colt. I don't know where he is yet. He's shown flashes. Obviously, he's not shown flashes. He's been good he's been good all year long, but hasn't got to where I'd like to see him yet. So maybe a fresh set of eyes. I'm not frustrated, but I would like to see him get to where I'd like him to be. Chicago Hall, racing good. Caught 1 or 2 tough ones even in the grassroots. We talk about the grassroots. This is a colt very similar to Arrowhead Hanover, right? Fast, trotted in 53, took a mark of 54, 55 in a piece, 56, I don't know. But moved him out of the sire stakes into the grassroots, and lo and behold, caught a couple of Bearcats. So we'll see how he does this week. Foxy Seaside's my last drive of the night. She races in about 3 hours and 20 minutes. She should be good tonight, I believe. Freedom Hill's back in now. We trained her up tight. She's off 3 weeks, so she's going to be a little short in her next start, but she needed a rest. She just needed a little time off, and that's what we gave her. Gaslight Hall raced over here. Tyler took care of him the other day, which I really appreciated. He drove the horse well. The week before I won with him, I thought he raced well. That's what he was here for. Now let's see how he responds in Ontario this week. Where are we at? Gorgeous package. The trip to the fair didn't work very well, so we will regroup. She'll race in the Buckeye her next start. Grand Slam Dio is back in Pennsylvania now. Melisandre's going out. She's tired, just as simple as that. There's no other way to put it. She's a little burnt out, a little tired. She needs 2 or 3 weeks off, and Grand Slam Dio can slide right in there. So timing being what it is, I suppose it works. Gymboree is in the sale on Monday, coming off a pretty decent win in 58. We'll see how the sale goes on Monday. Manhattan Money raced great today. Really happy with this horse. Only 2 wins. Lots of places to race him. Condition claimer at Scioto, condition claimer at Northfield, all the way up to 10 wins. This guy's going to get better. I'm not gonna say, oh, he's gonna be so much better. I think he's always gonna be 55. You might see him trotting 54 towards the latter part of the summer, but he is a solid 155, 156 trotter. Melisandre, I just talked about her. She's going out in the field for 3 weeks. Memento Mori, we talked about him. I'm going to ship him over to Ontario. He's going to go over there and get fat, right? That's the one component. He's thin, and when he loses a little weight, he definitely loses some velocity, right? We had him good where he was second and 55, second and 54. And then I'd said to Tim, just from the heat and the stress of racing, just felt that he lost even 10, 20 pounds, which doesn't seem like a lot. But somebody just messaged me. Which doesn't seem like a lot, but it is for this horse. And just want to get him over there, especially since I've seen how well Delicious Stone DK has excelled over there and how much weight he's put on. Just, I don't know whether it's the atmosphere or whether it's being able to get out in the field a little bit more or just a laid back way that everything is over there with the barn a little cleaned out. I want to see him put some weight on. So we had to make a move. That was the right direction, I believe. But as I saw earlier on tonight, it's not always easy to go over north of the border. Nassau, just the same type of thing. I know Steven said he only got 5-6 starts this year. I don't care if he's got 5 starts or 50 starts. He just feels just a little off edge, right? I don't know the horse that well, but I know horses. And I know what I see and I know what I feel with him. It's just a little off center. Oh, of course you were going to kick me out. Why wouldn't you do that? Seems cool. And at the end of the day, we want to regroup and have horses racing for the fall, right? Did I buy them for the fall? No, I did not. But now that we're here, we can easily transition to that. Resolve Indeed raced good, finished second the other day. She's got at least 1 win in this class. And then at that point, she may be in the next sale. But for right now, she raced okay the other day. Woodmere Betcha, a break tonight. Very disappointed with that break tonight. I know Jamie called me. He was really mad about it. Very disappointed, but at the end of the day, why do we not have this done? But at the end of the day, it's not much you can do. He has a plan. He has some plans with respect to Woodmere Betcha, and he asked me. He said, can you come down here Friday and go with her in the grassroots? And I said, well, no, I can't really because I'm not going to be in PEI. So the only way I go to PEI is if. God forbid the colt draws poorly in the Beal, Arrowhead Hanover. Maybe we don't get any horses in that we want on Friday. There's no racing Saturday at the Meadows. So is there a path? Yeah, but it's very poorly lit. But we'll see. Listen, if I can do it and I can help, I most definitely will. But Woodmere Betcha just needs to do a better job. Margot, God love her, sent me a message saying, what's wrong with this filly? She's a little ignorant, right? And why is she ignorant? That's a great question. That's the $1 million question. Is she hurting somewhere? Everything seems mechanically good, jogging, training slow. Then you get to race time and she gets a little off kilter. So how can we help her? How can we polish that portion of her game up? That's what we're looking into right now. So I'll be back in just a minute with the 2-year-olds. And then I don't know if I'll have enough light to do my opening, but we'll see. For right now, I will be back with the 2-year-olds in just a moment.